So now I'm going to discuss a few options to heat yourself or cool yourself when there's no power, such as during a power outage. So a couple case examples come to mind: Louisiana and Texas. Now the commonality was there was no power. The distinction was one was extremely cold and the other was extremely hot. Now, why is it harder to sleep when it's extremely hot out and there's no power? It's because your ability to control your body temperature is much more limited than when it's very cold and you can just add layers. But the problem is when it's also very cold out, it's very energy intensive to create heat. So what you want to do is control your immediate environment. And here are, I think, some non-obvious ways you might not have considered. So this is a self-heating jacket. It has heating elements. It's a vest, self-heating vest. It has a heating element in the back, on the sides, and you would wear this as a mid layer. So not directly over your skin, but underneath a jacket to insulate the heat, reflect it back. If you don't have a jacket, then a contractor's trash bag, which is an extremely versatile heat reflector, very effective. And if you have a portable battery pack, then you can charge that from solar. If you have solar, you can charge it from your car. If you can let your car run for a bit, you can charge it from a multitude of other sources, another power bank, a battery generator, a gas generator. But the point is, you're not using a gas generator to run an electric heater, which is very inefficient. It's also quite hazardous. I'm not talking about to the earth, I'm talking about to you, because a lot of people use their gas generator very foolishly. I'm not going to talk about some of the obvious ways, but less obvious ways of running an extension cord that's 100 feet or doubling or tripling them up, and that's where fires start. Also, you don't want to run a propane-based heater indoors unless you have a carbon monoxide detector that is working, that is nearby, and it's rated for indoor use. A lot of these are not, and you're gonna go from having a minor inconvenience to a lethal situation before you even know it, because carbon monoxide doesn't have any smell or odor, as you know. And smell or odor, same thing. But another advantage to having one of these is that you don't have to heat the whole house, you're just heating yourself. Get a few of these for your family, for example. And you can double it up with a USB rechargeable heater. So instead of those disposable self heaters, you know, those hand warmers, you carry one of these, you keep it in your pocket. It provides a huge amount of warmth, and it's a battery bank. So USB-C in and out. And you could, if you get the right adapter, use this to heat your vest, or use it just in your vest to heat your body. And another advantage to having a rechargeable vest like this is that it reminds you to bring a recharging brick. So maybe it's one of these, or ideally it's one of these, which has, you know, the regular USB, so you can add a 1 to 4 USB cable on it. You can charge your phone, you can charge someone else's phone. You have a backup power supply with you at all times. You can plug the vest in, but you can plug in multiple other devices that you or someone with you might not have thought of at the time. And it has USB-C, very fast charging to discharge this, charge your phone, or to recharge this. So the point is, it gives you several advantages at once. It forces you to bring a charger and a charging cable with you when you otherwise might not have thought to. So that is how to stay warm using USB power when the power is out. Now I'm going to talk about how to stay cool using USB power when the power is out. So my favorite device is a USB rechargeable fan. And this allows you to both charge and discharge. So it's a power bank. If you have this during a power outage, it's going to stay plugged in, stay fully charged, and then when the power cuts out, then it'll stay working. So one advantage to having something like this during a power outage is that if you're away from home and you have pets at the house, it can get extremely hot, extremely fast in your house if there's no AC. This would stay running, and then when all the other fans that are plugged in die because the power gets cut off, this keeps going from its own battery. And if you do need to draw power from it, you can. You can also charge it through USB-C or micro USB. It can go in your car. If you have a pet in your car, which you shouldn't leave in your car, if for some reason that AC that you're running, if that drops, this would be a backup source for some degree of cooling to keep your pet probably at least alive till you get back and fix the problem. And if you're trying to sleep during the heat, which is what I talked about at the beginning, it's a lot easier to sleep in the cold when there's no power because you can always add blankets, but this allows you to have some air circulation, significantly cool down the ambient air just around you by clipping this to the bedside, and it might be the difference of you sleeping through several nights of a power outage versus barely sleeping or not sleeping at all, which is going to have very immediate, profound effects on almost every other aspect of your life after a night or two of not sleeping. Your ability to think, your ability to function, your mood, your personality, your depressive state, those all worsen after just a night or two of no sleep and only get worse after that. So I hope these tips gave you some food for thought about some non-obvious suggestions for when the power's out and you're either trying to stay warm or stay cold. If it's not obvious, when it's very cold out, you have multiple other options to control your body temperature, but don't rely on those Mr. Heaters or propane or just using up your fuel to stay warm or power your electric furnace. There are far more efficient ways to heat yourself because you're going to need that fuel most likely for something more important that doesn't have an easy alternative like staying warm does during a power outage. If you found this helpful, I hope you'll let me know. Thank you.